busting my balls, Billy, okay?
I can already tell that I don't like you.
Fuck you, bust on my ball.
I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
It might be your first ball job.
Yeah, of course.
How long did it take for the guy to come?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Bustin' Balls. I'm your host, Eric Pinnell. I'm here with the very funny Chad Zumock. Is that how do I say your name right, dude?
Nailed it.
Is that how it is? Because I'm like a Midwest guy. Like, I automatically have like an act to it. I want to go Zumock.
Nah, you nailed it right out of the gate, and there's a lot of people that screw it up. It's 2 syllables, Zumock.
Yeah.
You know, and I get Zamak, you name it, I get it all.
So you're going to be here now at Zany's, right, for the weekend? Is that what it is?
I'm at Zany's in Old Town. I don't know when you're releasing this. I don't
Today,
know.
tomorrow, maybe.
Okay, yeah, and I have a big headlining show on Sunday, so if you want to come out,
Yeah.
I'll hook you up. By the way, if you want to come.
No. You ever done Zany's before?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been here a lot. I specifically asked to get booked in Chicago during the summertime because there's not a better city in the world.
No. You don't want to come here in fucking January, dude.
It's night and day.
It's the fucking worst.
So I always hit up Bird at Zany's. I'm like, you got anything? Because I just want to come to Chicago for like a week. I want to go to some ball games, hang out.
Yeah.
I love the city.
Well, that's where Kinnison filmed or recorded some of his like Louder Than Hell from there. You know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, like if you look on the back of the album, because I bought that album at a fucking record store like this year.
Really?
For like $2.99. All like the classic hit like kick-ass albums, they're all like $1.99, $2.99, and the only albums that are like really expensive right now are like Gaffigan, Burr, like they're like new albums, but you could buy like every Richard Pryor at most record stores, I think. You know, Carlin, they're all $3.99. And if you look on the back of that album, it said that he recorded that album at a bunch of places, like probably like 8 to 10 places, and one of them was Zany's in Old Town. I remember what's his name, Bert Haas. He told me that years ago, dude. But I thought he recorded the whole fucking thing there, but I think he just clipped it up. And
I gotcha. It's funny. Some fan sent me. They were at a record exchange. I think they have them in Chicago too. Yeah. And it was my album it's at $10.99, but right below it said Weird Al Yankovic $3.99. I go, what the hell?
Well, it's probably because you're relevant and you're like a newer comic right now. That's like a new album.
Yeah, well,
I guess
it's Weird Al. He's an icon,
dude. Weird Al's been around for fucking ever, dude.
Yeah,
he looks the same.
Were you in radio?
No, I wasn't in radio.
You got like a broadcasting voice.
It's because like I did customer service all my life, and then I end up with this. This is like the best voice that I just like learned how to communicate with humans with. That's what it is.
It's a good voice,
dude. I do Uber and I do rideshare, and then I've picked up over 15,000 people, and I've probably had 200 people go, "Hey, what's up with your voice, man? Are you in radio?" Same thing, and I go, "Nah, man." And every time I've submitted for like voiceover work, because I actually had like a production company guy go, when he got out of my car, he goes, "You should do voiceover work," and I go, "Yeah, I've had a lot of people tell me that shit." And he goes, "Yeah, but I own my own company, and I have my own production company, and you should do it, man." And then every time I do it, they always just go, "Yeah, no thanks," submit 6 months later.
Oh, that's awesome. Are
you
wearing an Indians hat?
Yeah, dude. I seen you walk up with the Cavs shorts, dude. I'm from Akron, Ohio, man.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm an Akron, Ohio guy. 27 years. I've been here 13 years.
Oh shit.
Yeah, dude. All my sports are Cleveland sports. That's another reason why, like, when I hear you and in the comedy scene and stuff like that, you don't really see a lot of Cavs fans. You don't see a lot of Indian. When people talk about Cleveland, they mostly make fun of the fucking shit. They don't realize Cleveland now is different than it was like. I'm 43 years old. When I was a little kid, still, I loved Cleveland then.
Yeah, we're the same age.
But it was different then. Like, if you go to Cleveland now, people don't realize, like, if you go to Cleveland now, you could have a good time. There people were having a good time in Cleveland even when I was a little kid. Remember the Flats?
Oh, of course.
The Flats used to be the shit. Remember when Charles Barkley threw somebody through the fucking window?
It's one of my favorite quotes of Charles Barkley.
What?
He was doing one of those sit-down Sunday conversations, and it was like 10 years after the fact. He threw somebody through a window.
Yeah.
And
like a bar, right?
Yeah, down in the Flats. I forgot the name of the bar, but
yeah.
The person interviewing him goes, "Was there any regrets that evening? Do you have any regrets?"
Yeah.
And Charles looks at him seriously. He goes, "Yeah, I do. I have one.
What?
I wish it was the second floor."
Oh my god. Right. When most people would be, well, especially now, you couldn't say that shit. Could you imagine if somebody threw a fucking window now?
Oh Jesus! Yeah, you're done.
Well, I mean, you're kind of done, but then. But he'd have to apologize his ass off for that, right? He couldn't even crack jokes about that, you know?
Yeah.
And also TNT would fucking drop him like that.
Oh, yeah,
Like he wouldn't be on with Shaq and that fucking white guy. It wouldn't happen, dude.
I think Charles Barkley's kind of grandfathered in.
Yeah.
I heard an interview with Anthony Jeselnik recently, and he basically says he gets away with all this awful, he could take horrible things and be funny because he's been doing this his whole career. So that's just what Anthony does.
Yeah.
So I think that's what Charles just says crazy stuff.
Well, some people get away with it. It's weird how some people know how to not let it stick on them.
Yeah.
Well, I guess if you own it, you own it, and then once you fucking apologize, then you're fucked too.
Yeah.
Like sometimes when when these guys apologize, it's like they're not gonna let you back in the club. Still, I don't know what you did. You're gonna be like kin to the village fucking idiot. So yeah, when I see you walk up with fucking Cavs shorts, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, this guy, you're a Cleveland all day fan, right? I mean, dude, where did you grow up at?
I grew up in Kent, Ohio.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm from Akron, Ohio. I went to East High School. I grew up in Goodyear Heights.
Yeah,
I mean, so yeah, Kent. So are you a big Kent State fan?
I'm Kent Roosevelt Rough Riders, baby.
God, I've never met anybody that even went to Roosevelt, dude.
I grew up there, and then I played a semester at Hiram soccer, and I hated soccer. I hated the school and I hated soccer, so I quit.
Yeah, nobody plays. That's why I try to explain to people in like Chicago, because my wife's Mexican and there are a lot of Hispanic people here. I didn't grow up with any Hispanic people in Ohio. I didn't see them.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't really see a lot of them. Now you do, but dude, until like in Chicago, I never even knew anybody that played soccer. Never.
Yeah, I just played when I was younger because my friends played, and I just happened to be good at it.
Yeah.
But I put zero effort.
Well, you have a soccer build.
Yeah, so I just did it. My love was basketball and baseball. I loved baseball as a child, so I just did it, and then I got sick of it, and I quit, and then I ended up at Kent State a year later because I just took a year off from after I quit Hiram.
Yeah.
And I worked at Gabriel Brothers, I remember.
Dude, I used to shop at Gabriel Brothers, dude. Dude, I used to shop at Gabriel Brothers out there in Kent, dude.
Yeah.
I remember when Gabriel Brothers first popped up on the scene.
Oh, yeah.
Those fucking, like, white trash fucking people in Ohio and Akron went crazy for Gabriel Brothers, dude.
Dude, there's a good chance you might have saw them. I worked in shoes with my buddy John Gracie.
And especially the shoes, man. The shoes were always cheap, dude. I got a Gabriel Brothers pair of Nikes at home in my closet right now, because even when I go back to Ohio, that's one of the things I hit up. I always go to Gabriel Brothers. I always hit up Swenson's. I always hit up Luigi's.
There we go.
And I always hit up fucking a Fiesta Pizza, dude. You ever fuck with Fiesta Pizza?
I've never had Fiesta Pizza.
Ah, dude, it was the fucking best.
I tell you what, Angelo's Pizza in Lakewood, that's money right there. If you're ever west side of Cleveland.
Dude, my cousin lives in Lakewood, dude. You ever go to fucking Barrio? You ever been to Barrio?
Oh, yeah, I've been to Barrio lots of times. Yeah.
So good, man. So Chad, when I first heard about you in the comedy scene, dude, you were moving back from like LA. So you started in LA. That's where you started to do comedy.
Oh, damn. So you know me from way back.
Well, I've seen you from afar, dude. I mean, because comedians in the comedy scene, dude, like, you see people from afar where you go, oh yeah, okay, I see that, dude. So you moved, because when I first seen you pop your head up, like me personally, you were moving back from LA.
Yeah,
but you were already a guy. Like, people knew about you. People already kind of like knew you were already like kind of established, and like people liked you already. So I figured you were already like the guy.
My career has been backwards. None of it makes sense.
Yeah.
I started in LA. I moved out there for my ex-girlfriend. We broke up for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I was a mess.
What do you mean you broke up for 2 weeks, or you broke up 2 weeks after you moved out there?
2 weeks after I moved out there.
Why? What happened with that? Not to give the play-by-play. So what? You go out there and realize like, yeah, we don't got it like we thought we did.
No, she thought that. I was all in. I just moved across country for you. She kind of realized she moved on, and I didn't handle it very well.
So what do? You just get an apartment and stay there?
Well, no, I was living. I had a place already, but I'm like, what the? I just relocated my life for this girl, and so I go to the Hollywood Improv. I just sit there and get drunk.
Yeah.
And the GM of the Hollywood Improv, Rita Piazza, she took a liking to me because she's originally from Cleveland, so she would feed me and just kind of keep an eye on me, and I would watch the comics go up. And at the time, it was right when Dane was popping.
And you weren't doing no comedy. You were just kind of like had an interest on comedy. You were what? Like because you did improv and sketch before that, right?
I was doing sketch. I did Last Call Cleveland with Mike Polk, who made all those tourism videos.
Which is like a Cleveland giant. I mean, Mike Polk's a great comic, but he's definitely like the Cleveland king, right?
Yeah, he made his bed in Cleveland. Like,
dude, I remember when
his wheelhouse.
I remember Mike Polk used to do that show at Hilarities in Cuyahoga Falls, Pete and Tony's place on Saturdays. They used to set up a fucking.
I was on that show,
dude. I used to work at Hilarities then. I used to be a server there.
I was on that show.
So you were one of those dudes that because I always just remember Mike, and then later on, you would see Mike in other things.
One of my popular characters was the drunken frat guys. We had beer boxes on our heads.
Right, right. So you were already doing that. So you already kind of had like a comedy writing thing going on. You already kind of knew. And then but did you do stand up before you even made it to the Improv out there? You weren't doing stand up at all.
I did it twice.
Yeah.
Prior to that, and I was terrible, horrible.
Of course.
So
you're 2 times in.
Yeah. I'm out there and I'm watching all the comics. I'm like, I'm gonna go to open mic tomorrow, and I never stopped going, and I just kept going and going, and then I got this. They had a thing on the internet called Comedy Time. It's Angela Johnson. She's
I remember Comedy Time, right?
Yeah, and my video popped, and I started getting stuff. And I got scared because I was like, I've only been doing this for 8 months.
And basically what that translates to is like you only have so much time too.
Yeah.
Like that's one thing about because most people don't do comedy. They listen to that, they go, that's great, and it's like, no, I got like 8 fucking minutes.
Yeah.
If people want me to like push out 35, 40, like whatever, and it's like, no, you can't. It doesn't work that way.
And those 8 minutes weren't even great.
It's like the 8 jokes that kind of work and that you've written. It doesn't. And
since I had a sketch background, I was doing more of a shtick, like I was doing like a character, like a cool guy character.
Yeah.
God, I by the way, I've had that video removed from Comedy Time because it's so embarrassing.
Really?
It's just embarrassing.
Yeah, but dude, eventually when you're like a giant fucking, where the world really knows about you and shit, they're going to want to see that.
Well,
then what are you going to do? You're going to say, hey, can you put that back? Because it's, dude, I mean, people, you see old Adam Sandler fucking, stand up. You see like old, Bill Hicks stand up when he's like fucking 15 doing I mean, that's just the way it is.
Well, the reason why I had it removed is because there was like.
Were you saying like inappropriate stuff?
No, and it was 3 million views.
3 million views.
Yeah, and it was terrible. And it's the first thing that would pull up on my stand-up. So bookers would watch it and they're like, we're gonna pass. I'm like, no, that's not my stand-up anymore.
Even when you know that they're gonna look at like, oh, this was 2005 or something like that, and he looks like a fucking, how old were you? You were young.
Oh man, yeah,
25.
Yeah, I looked like a young man.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
I know what you're saying. You don't want that out there. You want like the shit that you're doing now, and you want to protect it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But dude, it got 3 million fucking views. That's crazy at 3 million people.
I know. Maybe again, I do dumb things, so maybe that was a bad move.
So what? You start going. So you basically just start doing what most comics that commit to it. They just open mic it, jump into the scene. So did you get how far did you get in LA though?
It was about a year into stand-up, and I started to bomb, and it was freaking. I was bombing on big showcases.
Yeah,
because I was getting spots.
Yeah,
and I'm like, because I seen comics flame out.
Yeah,
and then they're done. So the industry thing is.
What do you mean flame out? Because I think I know what that means, but what do you mean? Like if somebody's listening, what's that mean, flame out?
Basically, they don't have what it is, and they get a lot of opportunities, and they blow all the opportunities and they're done.
Yeah.
So
because their caliber of gun is only so large. They only have so many bullets, and they also only have so much experience, probably too. Right? There's a bunch of ingredients in that. And okay.
That's what's basically. I knew that, and it was an old school mentality back then. It wasn't like the internet now.
Big time different.
Yeah, MySpace was it was like the #1 thing.
Yeah.
Dane Cook was blowing up on MySpace.
Huge. So you're in the back of the Improv watching when Dane Cook is fucking a giant.
I watched The Climb. I watched it like live.
Yeah.
I watched like, holy shit, this guy's going through the roof.
It's giant. I mean, he was one of the biggest giants in a long time that we've seen in that. Because I mean, before him, what other comic before Dane Cook blew up like that? From our generation, we didn't really see it because when we were little kids, it was Eddie Murphy.
Dice?
Yes, so Dice. But before Dane Cook, the next closest timeline would have been probably Dice.
Yeah.
That got that big.
So he was just taking this, what we all do on social media now, he was the first. He's the pioneer.
Genius.
Yeah, so he was the guy, and I remember my first year, I was on a show. It was the first show Chappelle came back. You remember when he left the Chappelle show and went to Africa?
Yeah.
It was the first time he emerged on a scene, and he jumped on the show that night. And to this day, I've never heard a louder reaction.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was right there in the thick of it.
It's almost like when Louis C.K. comes out to like Skankfest and it fucking just erupts, right?
Great analogy.
Yeah, where people are just going fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, that's when like Chappelle would like go to like a club in L.A. and go up there for like 4 hours.
Yeah.
And just fucking run out the clock and just people would
That's obnoxious. But my buddy Justin Silver was.
It was a thing at one time though. Remember that where they were like and then Dane Cook would do it and then like it was like a thing.
Yeah, there was the marathon culture, then there was the bumping culture where everyone's bumping everybody.
And then people started complaining about bumping.
So
like,
now,
people were
yeah.
complaining. It's like, dude, that's been around forever.
Yeah, now the only guys that can bump are like the big time guys, like
Yeah.
Chappelle coming in, Chris Rock.
Where it's like, I'm here, I don't want to be here all fucking night, can I slip in type thing. But you're right, they have to be giants, right?
Yeah, everyone's pretty courteous right now in stand-up. It's a fucked up. I mean, I can go all day about stand-up.
But it is courteous. But I mean, there are some people out there that are pissing people off. I mean, right? I mean, aren't there? But they don't say anything about it. They don't really say nothing about it because everybody tries to play nice, right?
A lot of people do. I'm not good at the game.
Dude, you lead from following your career from a distance, and then I'll hear you on other podcasts. Like you lean into fucking like most people, most comics. I think because they're naturally pussies, or they don't want to mess up a future job. They seem to kind of scurry away from it and kind of back up off it. I feel like you lean right into the fucking hard pitch.
As I get older and I realize all the bullshit that's going on,
because it's bullshit, right?
It's all bullshit, and everyone's afraid of this invisible boogeyman that's not there.
Right.
So I want to be as authentic and honest as possible. And I don't see that in comedy right now. There's a couple guys out there that are really just
sure.
Kevin Brennan's one of them.
Love Kevin Brennan. Dude,
yeah,
I went and seen Kevin Brennan at fucking the Zany's Rosemont when he was here, man.
Oh, okay.
And he did not disappoint.
No,
it was excellent, man.
Well, that's a lot of people need. Like he has this podcast fame, but he's an excellent stand-up comic,
world class,
and he's done it all in the business. He's another guy who's fed up. He's been on Letterman, Conan, had a half hour.
Always been well respected. Kevin Brennan's always name has been thrown in there where people know that he's a fucking
Yeah, and for some reason it just didn't pop for him.
Well, you got to be a bit of an ass kisser. You got to play the fucking. It's always been playing the fucking game. And now the world is you got to get in line, and if you get out of line, they're gonna scratch your fucking face off if you're not on message. That's kind of.
It's kind of happened with me right now in Hollywood. With I don't know if you were familiar with the Patton Oswalt.
I didn't want to bring it up unless you brought it up.
I don't care.
But I know you moved. When did you move to LA? Like within a year and a half.
I moved in January.
You moved back. You moved back because you're you're starting to fly to a higher altitude. Your career's really taken off.
Well, I had a writing. I was writing on a pilot.
Yeah.
And it was paying a good chunk of money. I was like, if this gets picked up, this would be a good opportunity. My comedian friend Sam Tripoli asked me to join his Punch Chunks podcast.
Yeah.
And my buddy Brody Stevens and I were going to do a bunch of shows together. Like we were planning all these shows. So I was like, listen, I started there. Let's go back. I'm 15 years in.
And did you already have those connections with Sam because of before? Because they already knew who you were? Where they're like, this guy's co-sign. He's like, we know he's one of the guys already.
I've known Sam since I was a open micer. So
okay, so you go back there and then you're doing that, and then so what happens? Because I kind of know what happens. So somebody tweeted, right? The Peel guy tweeted.
Well, first, okay, this is what happened. I quit drinking. And then comedian Brody Stevens, if you're not familiar, he died.
Yep.
He committed suicide, and I was very close with Brody, and it fucked me up bad. And I started drinking again, and I just started getting angry.
Yeah.
And Sam kind of hit me to Patton Oswalt early on, how he's totally woke, and he's everything that he came into this stand up with, against the grain, against the system. Now he is the system. So I kind of ghost followed his tweets, and he had one tweet. It was Jordan Peele tweeted out he wouldn't cast white male leads,
which I know where he's coming from when he says that. I get what he's saying, but also, if you look at it, that's basically racism. That is race. Because if anybody else said, "Hey, I'm not casting nobody else," and it's like, dude, that's a fucking. But I get what he's saying. I see what he's saying.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily have a problem with that.
No, I see what he's saying.
My thing is, like, it's your movie. Do what the hell you want. I don't care.
Sure, but
Patton Oswalt quote tweets it and basically is legitimately kissing this guy's ass and making fun of white people. I forgot exactly how it went.
Which he's a white guy. It's so fucking stupid.
Patton, give up your role.
I don't know why, white dude. I don't know why, white people attack other white people. It's like, that you're fucking white also, and if your pack comes after these people, who do you think they're gonna come after next? You think you're fucking exempt? Like white women, they think they're exempt also. It's like, no, they're gonna come for you. Is like, you just need to cut this shit out, man.
I saw this pandering kiss ass to this young hot Hollywood director tweet, and I tweeted at him. I forgot exactly what I said, but I basically call him a fucking Hollywood phony. I know what side he's going to take every time.
Well, because it's predictable, dude.
Yeah.
Because we know he ain't going to say nothing against that. I mean, even you don't have to, but you know he ain't going to say anything against it, against the grain. It's so fucking
Oh
predictable.
yeah, I mean he's playing exactly how you're supposed to play it in LA,
Right.
and I just got annoyed. And then I put down the phone, and next thing my phone's blowing up. I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
And then he tweets, oh yeah, I'm woke, I'm soy. He's basically he's trying to like
yeah.
I don't know, diffuse. I don't know what he's doing. And then I tweeted at him. I go, no wonder why Brody didn't like you. And
Yeah.
and that's Brody had told me some private conversations.
Sure.
That's the one thing I'm out of line. I should not have done that.
Fuck him. You know what? What? When somebody shoots like a fucking internet bullet at you, you're supposed to go, oh, let me go back in my... No, you shot back at him. It's like, fuck you, dude. I don't know you. I
Yeah.
don't... What do you know? But
Then he quote tweets it saying, oh, great, now you bring up my friend who just killed himself. And
oh, that's what he says?
yeah, he twisted it.
Well, no, because then he just doubles down on the victim. Like,
Right.
then he runs to the victim square.
And I never, ever mentioned that he committed suicide. I never mentioned anything, but Patton had to twist it so he becomes...
Well, because they know how to play the game, dude.
Yeah.
They're playing this, like, fucking social justice warrior fucking chess that they play.
And this social justice warrior following comes after me, and
Yeah.
it hurts. And I'm just getting bombarded, and I'm
Because
labeled...
the guy has, like, what, like 40 fucking million fucking...
He has like 5 million Twitter followers.
5 million Twitter
and
followers.
It's just every anonymous account saying...
Dude, what's crazy is if he has 5 million Twitter followers, like, how did your fucking jet plane jump on his radar?
I don't know.
How did that happen?
I honestly... Like, I talked to a couple
Did you
people...
ever meet him in the scene? Like, you ever see him hanging and you go, I see him across the room, or you go, I know
Not,
that
not
dude.
since then, but
Yeah.
I mean...
But before that?
Yeah, back when I first started, I saw him a lot.
Yeah.
Because it was like right around the comedians of comedy, like when he was coming up, when he was the punk rock
Sure.
comic and against the system, but
Yeah.
now he is the system. Anyways, so it's going back and forth, and everyone's jumping in, comics, everybody, and it's gross, and this. Everyone's tweeting at me that Patton Oswalt killed his wife. I didn't know anything about it, and it was. I'm
Well,
sure,
so why are they tweeting you that? Are they trying to get you to go down this road of, like, he killed his wife? Because I just assumed that you went down that road, but you're saying people are atting you about him. Oh, so those people are kind of defending you, though, probably.
Yeah, it was a lot of like O&A like fans, and they jumped in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck? So I Googled it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh.
And didn't his wife pass away from, like, taking pills or something
Yeah,
like that?
yeah.
And she went to sleep and probably passed away, right?
And there's like some conspiracy theory that he might have killed his wife. I'm not
That's
saying
all
he.
bullshit, probably.
Yeah, I listen. I don't know the guy, but
Yeah.
I doubt he killed his wife.
Yeah, why
But-
would he want that trouble? Because that's all you need is a Hollywood trial. Like, you always see those Hollywood trials of fucking...
Yeah.
You know, you don't want those problems.
But I can't speak on either
Sure.
way. So his current wife, who was in the movie Dream a Little Dream, married to somebody, I don't know.
Yeah.
She's tweeting at me, trashing me.
Uh-huh.
And I Google her name. I'm like, who the hell's this?
Why are these fucking Hollywood elites like now, dude? 'Cause, you're a great comic, but like you, why are they? I don't understand how you jumped on there. How you pissed them off?
I don't know.
I mean, no offense. You would think that they would go, no, let's fly above this. Let's not be.
Yeah.
But they're like, no, we're going to come down on this guy and fucking put all our people on it.
I felt like Jodie Foster on the pinball machine. It was just like I was getting bummed,
Yeah.
and people are cheering it on, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on?
Uh-huh.
So after she tweets me insults, I just tweet at her. I go, hey, sister, sleep with one eye open tonight, knowing your significant other.
Right. Yeah. Of course.
I tweeted at her.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, he quote tweets and going, oh, now he's threatening my wife.
Yeah,
and
that's
when it got.
And so there he goes again. He goes to the next victim
Yeah.
square. That's like that. They're so fucking pussy predictable.
I know.
dude.
And next thing you know, Chris Titus, the comedian, jumps in.
Yeah.
Like Patton Oswalt.
Why is he jumping in?
Exactly. He has 5 million Twitter followers. He doesn't need backup, Chris.
I know, but I don't understand why he's. Well, he must be buddies with him. You think he's buddies with him?
I think so.
Or he's either buddies with him, or have you ever met him?
One time.
Yeah, or maybe he just doesn't respect you somehow or something. I don't know why he would even chime in. He's either he doesn't respect you or he just wants to get in on it or something. Who fucking knows?
I've heard from a lot of people that he gets in a lot of Twitter fights, so I think he just likes the drama.
How's that feel when you get into a Twitter fight like that? When it's all coming down on you, when you got like fucking this many, does it make you feel like, does it make you laugh where you go, oh yeah?
It's a little bit of both. I'm a little callous to it because I was on the radio in Cleveland for a long time,
Yeah.
so I got called everything 5 days a week.
They would do that?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, of course. Because I was always the guy who took the unpopular opinion, and
Yeah.
I wasn't like always, I was never pandering, like so people can like me.
Yeah.
I'm just honest.
Sure.
So
Which people want. People want that. People want honesty. Although it doesn't sound always pretty, but all these motherfuckers around us, that's what a lot of them want to hear that.
Yeah, there are the handful of people, and those are the people I gravitate towards. So I'm a little callous, but that was overwhelming considering I was trending on Twitter, like not just
Yeah.
Cleveland local. I'm
Yeah.
talking across the country. I'm trending because
Uh-huh.
of this Patton Oswalt fight, and it really opened my eyes to what this business has become. And I'm not necessarily jaded, but I don't give a fuck attitude anymore.
Well, the good thing is, dude, you've already went to war with this, so if it ever pops back up that you're not going to be afraid of it. Because a lot of motherfuckers, if they have that come at them, including myself, dude, if that ever came, I don't know what that would do. You know, 'cause I don't know what that would do. I don't know if I would
had to make my
step back and come to the apology tour where you go, "Oh, I'm sorry, guys,
Well-
I didn't mean it like that."
Well, this is what happened. I had to make my account private for a couple hours.
Yeah.
because it was just too much.
Sure, you're just stepping away from it.
I got tired of scrolling like you're alt-right, you're gonna die.
Whatever the fuck
Yeah,
that means.
yeah.
Who even runs into an alt-right person? It's code word for like Nazi is like code word, alt-right. Who even knows an alt-right fucking person? I don't know any alt-right people.
They try to politicize all of this, and I don't give a shit. Like everyone's trying to politicize everything. I don't care.
I know.
And
Same here, man.
So
and I think most people don't give a fuck. Most people don't give a shit either.
it's just the bubble of Hollywood and what they live in. So, long story boring. I was doing Punch Drunk that night, and I told everyone to call in. So all of Patton's Twitter followers were calling All Things Comedy. The guy who runs All Things Comedy,
Yeah,
freaked
and
out.
All Things Comedy is like it's turned into like a real thing. It's turned into like a real business, right? Or it's
Yeah, I
turned
mean,
into a real business where like eventually somebody's going to either buy it or they're going to take it even larger.
Yeah, I think that's. I mean, they've already made deals with Comedy Central.
Yeah.
And so yeah, and Al Magical runs it with.
Bill Burr's in on it, right?
Bill's like more of I'd say a name.
Yeah.
Like I don't think he's into the day-to-day
Sure,
operations.
sure.
He's like, throw my name on it.
Yeah, because it helps.
Let's help out some comics. So the manager Mike threw me off the podcast. He had Sam throw me off the podcast.
Why? I don't understand that. You think they would want like the heat?
They know it's the opposite of New York. They're all pussies.
Why did they? I don't understand how they run from. Well, is it because of sponsorship? They're afraid to run from spot.
Possibly. I think that I don't know this Mike guy. He seems like a nice guy, but I think I don't think he's ever run a podcast network before.
Yeah.
Or understand what podcasts are all about. But
Because, dude, I listen to podcasts all fucking day, man.
Yeah.
And, dude, people gravitate when they listen to shit like that. Do you think when Jimmy Martinez jumps on Kevin Brennan that they got less viewers and people care less about that? They wanted to fucking hear that.
But that's the difference between New York and L.A. L.A. everyone's kissing each other's ass and bullshitting, and New York, it's it's in your face.
Right.
I'm sorry. I've been
No, and I assume it's always been like that, right? I mean, well, because now LA definitely gets respect with the comics and stuff, and they have some comics that are still in the mud right now that are on the up and come. But it always used to be New York. You felt like always had the better comics.
Oh, they still do. I mean,
I agree too, man. Right? I mean,
you
generally,
got some of the most famous comics are in L.A. because of Rogan and
sure.
But you put Sam Morril up against any comic, and you're gonna he's gonna make you work.
And he's a New York comic.
Yeah, joke writing machine, and I don't know. So long story short, I never got asked back to Punch Drunk,
which is fucked up, dude.
Yeah.
You would think they'd even just throw you your own fucking show and go, let's just see if anybody, because you got a podcast. What is it, Sit Down Zumock?
Yeah, Sit Down Zumock podcast.
You would think that they would just say, fuck it, let's throw his podcast on there and see what heat he gets off that and take it from there. But just to fucking just say get off, like, don't invite you back or anything like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of things, and there's one situation I'm not going to talk about just
Sure,
because
of course.
I'm a little upset by it still, and it's more personal.
Yeah.
It's with a friend of mine, and
Yeah.
I'm not going to throw him under the bus, but it just made me wake up and realize that this world we live in today is fucking crazy. It's just everyone's losing their mind. Everyone's overly medicated. Everyone in LA's high. They're just.
You mean on weed? Everybody's high on weed.
Yeah. It's just and they're all desperate. They're so desperate to make it. And
Right.
the structure, the system that we had is falling apart. The infrastructure of Hollywood is falling apart because of podcasting and the internet.
Well, they're cut out the middleman.
Yeah, they cut out the middleman
To
and
get to the fans, sorta.
so
right?
yeah, so everyone's looking to make it and they don't know what to do. So they become followers. They just become followers. They follow some system. Oh, I gotta be a vegan? Okay, I'm vegan. Feminist? Okay.
Yeah, plant-based. It's
Yeah.
all plant-based,
Yeah.
vegan. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Well, it's
I gotta hate Trump? Okay, I
Well,
got it.
because they're reading the fucking playbook of like, what's the playbook? What's the step-by-step? What do you do? So
I look at the playbook and I'm going the opposite way.
Right. Yeah. Well, because there used to be gatekeepers, and there still is gatekeepers, but that used to be what it was the gatekeepers. Yeah. And if they didn't let you in, but now again, those guys have lost a little bit of power, and now you can go around the back door. You do. I heard you on a podcast talking about how Joe Rogan told you about how you should just start your own pirate ship.
Yeah.
Is that basically what you're doing then? Is that because I feel like that's the move is to just get your fan base, get what you can get, and then somehow figure it out that way.
That's when I realized I was okay. I was at the Hollywood Improv. I was there with Tim Dillon. We were just sitting in the...
Which is very funny comic. Tim Dillon is so fucking funny.
Yeah, he's going to be on my podcast in 2 weeks.
Dude, very funny dude, man.
He's great. And he's another guy who sees through the bullshit. And
doesn't care. Doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah. So Tim and I were talking, and Rogan came in. And I've met Rogan a handful of times, enough where he recognizes me.
Sure.
And we're sitting there talking. He looked at me and he goes, what's going on with that thing with Patton Oswalt? He looked at me. I was like, oh, man, it got out of control. I was like, I don't know.
It's a fucking Twitter comment, too.
Yeah.
And to think that you got to worry about fucking losing business and your career over it and getting spots and clubs and shit, but continue.
Yeah, so I'm sitting there. I go, it was some Twitter nonsense. It was over a joke.
Yeah.
I was like, I made a joke.
And that's what it is a joke.
Yeah. And he goes, fuck it. Just build your own pirate ship.
That's right.
And I go, all right, if Rogan's saying this, I'm good.
That's
fine.
the move.
Yeah. So my whole thing now is like, I'm just going to do whatever the hell I want. And
it seems to be working, dude.
It's a little bit, right? A little bit.
Dude, you leaning into it. I've seen your career from afar, dude. And I feel like the last 2.5, 3 years from me looking at it from a distance, I feel like you're going higher in altitude, and I feel like you're getting bigger and bigger. And you're, like I said, you lean into it, and I think that's the move, dude.
I appreciate it.
No, dude, from a guy that does not even know you and looking at it from a distance, that's what it looks like. Because I think they bark and they try to scare you. Like, not just you.
I wish you were an agent.
No, yeah, no shit. I feel like they try to bark and scare you off where you go, okay, I'm sorry. But, dude, if you don't let them scare you out of the yard and you go, no, I'm staying in the fucking yard. I see you're barking. It doesn't do anything. Dude, I feel like that's sort of what you did with this thing. And
everyone said I killed my career. I'm like, I'm a full-time working comic. I'm working at Zanies this week. Like, how has it killed my career?
And, dude, to think that other comics would want to kill any other comic's fucking career, and also for other comics to make, like, little fucking negative comments and try to ruin people's, like, another... Dude, comedy is so fucking hard. And to think it's so hard. And from the start of, like, you doing fucking sketch and improv and then finally bumping into, like, an open mic, and then all those fucking years, and that somebody wants to just... Like, Louis C.K. right now. They're trying to... Like, Louis did all that through his life, and just because he jacked off while he's partying on the road, and he's having fun and shit, and then now it's like, go away forever. That's what we got to do. We got to go away forever.
When I see these pylons like this, I quickly have empathy for the other side. I look at them. I'm like, right, what are they going through right now? What's going on in their mind? You know, everyone shits on Louis.
Dude.
No, by the way, it's a game of telephone. Nobody knows the full story.
Nobody knows the full story. Nobody knows who the women are.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know if that matters, but it's like nobody knows who the women are. Nobody knows the play-by-play. Nobody sees the timeline. He can't even come out and... Dude, you don't even see... You think Louis C.K. would, like, come out on some fucking show, podcast... You think he'd be on Rogan going, look, man, this is what happened. Nobody knows. But everybody, a large percentage of them hate him.
Here's one thing I do know. He never blocked a door. He always asked for consent. They said no. He goes, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And that's all it was.
Dude, and you're a road dude. It gets creepy on the road, man. When people party and they're drinking and they're doing a little this, doing a little that, and then that you do that every weekend for so many years and shit, it gets creepy, dude.
Everyone pointing fingers and yelling at Louis. You better hope you don't have any
hypocrites. Dude, it's
you better hope you don't have any skeletons in your closet that might be exposed someday.
They don't care about that, dude, because everybody has some bullshit, embarrassing stuff, and most people, most comics don't give a fuck. Like, my wife has always like said, "Damn, like, you don't hide nothing," and I'm like, because I don't give a fuck. I don't care. If I keep it hidden, then they can fucking hurt me with it later.
And here's the thing with Louis too that he does also is they were giving him shit for going to the Comedy Cellar. You know, a couple protesters. So he goes, "Okay, I just won't go to the Comedy Cellar anymore." So he's like, every time they tell him, he just listens, and he goes, "Okay, I won't do that anymore.
Yeah,
I won't do that anymore."
As they're missing out on people that would love to fucking see him.
Yeah, so he's doing a whole club tour, and he announces the show 2 days prior. It sells out immediately because
he tells you right there that motherfuckers want to, it's like
Hollywood's trying to control the narrative, and they're trying to box this guy out. He tried to play ball with Hollywood. He did. Like, he tried to, like...
But, dude, he helped out Hollywood. All that writing shit that he did, he was a fucking engine for it. I mean, engine, dude. I mean, once he got moving and stuff like that, man, he was a good thing about Hollywood, man. But you know what? He just bumped into that Me Too movement at the wrong fucking time. I
had some friends that hung out with him at Skankfest. They all went out to dinner, and they said that you could tell in his face, like, he goes, man, I'm a comic. Comics get me. I'm never turning my back on these guys. Comics have his back. The real ones.
Yeah. Well, they have his back right now, and yeah.
He's never gonna. You can tell Louis, like, I'm never going to Hollywood again. Fuck that.
Yeah, he better not, man.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Do you think they're going to let him back? I mean, is there somebody that lets him back in, or
they can't control him? Like, he's going to release a special one day, and it's going to be the biggest fucking special in the world.
I know.
He's going to do it on his own terms. He's going to do it off his website. I mean, I'm not speaking.
Yeah. No, but that's the move. Well, because what's he going to do? Another thing is, I mean, yeah, he could do that, but what's the thought where they end up fucking him and he loses 30+ million and he's the fucking Ken to the Village idiot for so many years and people spit at him and then when they eventually go, okay, you could come back in here, and these go, oh, here, take a lot of my money.
I'm not going to say who's.
Fuck that.
I'm not going to tell you who said this, but you remember when that audio was leaked of him working on set?
Yeah.
And he got a lot of backlash because of the Parkland shootings and stuff.
Which is stupid. I don't it's a joke.
The joke's not even finished.
Who cares? It's a fucking dude, it's a joke. But continue.
Dude, he's literally, the joke's not even finished. And,
yeah.
It had, I forgot, 1 million and some hits. Louis goes, you realize if I would have released that on my website is for $1, I could have $1 million.
Easily. Dude, he honestly, dude, he could release like a 5-minute or 2-minute, a 5-minute, 2-minute, 5-minute bit every one for like $1, and he would walk away with like,
oh yeah,
if he did like his whole like 45-minute hour set like that, where then he goes, oh yeah, for like $10 you can have the whole thing.
Yeah. By the way, whoever's listening to this, some people that have opened for Louis, it's some of the best shit he's ever done.
Really?
So get ready. I don't know when he'll release it.
Well, he has been fucking had time. You know, he's not working. Well, if he was smart, which I'm sure he is, because he is a smart guy, he's working on a bunch of shit. He's probably whether it ever comes to market or not, he should be working on a bunch of shit where he just comes out just throwing bombs.
Yeah, and
that'd be the smart thing to do. But dude, just that Twitter storm that you had. I mean, what would he be going through? I mean, what is that, man?
Yeah,
where you become the guy, and then now you can't even walk in the room, and you just be the man.
I guess when he was at that Skankfest, he told somebody it's the first time he felt normal.
Yeah.
So it's a difficult situation to be in, because you want to talk about empathy? The guy has 2 daughters, and they got to hear about their dad.
Dude, there's fucking murderers walking the streets that did their time, and then they're back in the fucking neighborhood, and nobody worries about them. They work down at the fucking whatever, and then they're taking their kid to the fucking, this guy. What did he do? He fucking jacked off, asked the chicks if he could jack off while they're on the road hanging and stuff like that. Get the fuck out of here, man.
I'm a big pop culture nut. It's the equivalent of when Ralph Macchio's outside of his apartment trying to hop the gate, and the fucking Cobra Kai's in their skeleton outfits.
That's a good scene, dude. I just seen that. I just watched Karate Kid like a couple weeks ago. And for the first time in years, because I grew up on that shit.
And they're beating the shit out of him.
Those suits were badass, dude.
And they're beating the shit out of him.
Like, hold him up, Johnny.
And he's like, I'll decide when he had enough. That's what they're doing with Louis.
That's it.
Yeah.
That is exactly what they're doing.
They're beating the living shit out of him.
That's exactly what they're doing.
Unfortunately, Mr. Miyagi can't save Louis.
Yeah, when's the old Asian guy going to jump over the fence and fucking do some old man fucking kung fu on him?
By the way, I went to that apartment.
That apartment's real?
Yeah, because I was driving out to Oxnard because I was on Nate Bargatze's show.
Yeah.
And I was driving through Encino, and I'm like, I think the Karate Kid house is there, because Brody told me about it.
Yeah.
So I put Karate Kid apartment in my Waze, and it showed up. It said,
really?
It said I was 3 miles away. I'm like, I'm going to go see it.
You can do that with just like type in. Like, I've never done that. I use Waze every day, dude. I've never fucking.
I just tried it, and I guess somebody put it in the Karate Kid house.
Wow, because I bet you could do that here with like Home Alone house.
Yeah, probably.
Whoa.
So South Seas, it's in a shitty neighborhood, and
really?
Yeah, but it's hilarious. It still looks the same out front.
But that is exactly what they're fucking doing. They're just holding him up until they're done with him.
Yeah.
But I just don't know. They just don't want him to get back up. I think that's what it is. They want him to fall to the ground and don't get back up. We beat the shit out of you. Don't get up.
Yeah, this country loves to punish. They love to punish people.
Well, dude, I was just on, because like I look up stories and shit to like talk about on podcasts, and I just seen today on TMZ they had Baker Mayfield because he just got engaged or married or some shit like that, and then it was like a positive comment on Baker Mayfield, and then but as soon as I see it, the negative guy to me goes, there they go, building him up just so they could fucking eventually cut his legs right out. You know, he'll have a bad season, he'll fucking blow it. Hopefully he doesn't, because I'm a Browns fan. But if he has a bad couple games, they fucking, you know, something happens, but they build you up, man.
Yeah.
And they want to fucking chop you right the fuck down.
Yeah, man. It's a weird world we live in. By the way, I met Baker Mayfield in L.A.
That's what I heard, man.
And he said, I go, what do you think about next year Super Bowl? He goes, that's all I think.
Dude, I hope so, man. I fucking hope so. Dude, I went to 2 games last year, man. I went to the Atlanta Falcons game, and I went to the Chargers game. I sat in 147 section for fucking $35 and $39 each ticket. This year, fucking prices are up, dude.
I'm gonna try to get to one game.
The cheaper games are going to be like Buffalo. I've been looking, like Buffalo's a cheap game, and there's like a Cincinnati game or something like that. Whatever game's on December 22nd is still pretty cheap. But all the other games, because they're playing Seattle, they're playing some good teams this year, and the prices are up. But that's going to be a good team, dude.
No, it's exciting if you're a Browns fan, because it's
been a long time.
We're going to win games. That's all.
Hopefully, dude.
If we can't win games with these offensive weapons, I mean, we're in trouble.
Well, because it's so funny how, like, being a Browns fan, and finally they have a team that's like, okay, this could be a winning team. But still people are hating on them. Still people are like, all those egos together. All those egos ain't going to be able to work together. Odell Beckham. I live in Chicago, and I was talking to Chicago fans where they go, once Odell's signed with the Browns, they go, I wouldn't want Odell Beckham. I go, oh, you wouldn't want Odell Beckham on the fucking Bears? You wouldn't want every team would want Odell Beckham on their team, dude.
Here's the thing. He's playing with his best friend, like Jarvis Landry, a kid he grew up with.
Dude.
He's going to be on his best behavior. You think he's going to be jealous that Jarvis is getting more catches?
Dude, look, man, the best are always sometimes, they're sometimes wild. It's like frontmen. It's like you got a Guns N' Roses shirt on right now. Yeah. Fucking Axl Rose is a wild guy, but that's how the best come sometimes. Yeah. They come fucking wild style. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Dude. Yeah, and then they got a quarterback who, is, could be one of the greats.
He right now we don't know yet, but the way he played last year, and obviously college and stuff like that, he could be like an Aaron Rodgers type guy for the next 8 to 12 years.
And with these offensive weapons, man, he could play with his left hand. I mean, it's going to be a fun season. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. So before you get off here, dude. So you were good friends with, like, Brody Stevens.
Yeah.
Tell people that because a lot of people are friends, like, fans of Brody Stevens, man. I mean, the guy was a fucking great. He was very, very, very funny. I mean, there's stuff that, like, that since you're a friend of him that people don't know about Brody, and like what kind of dude he was and how funny he was. Like, is there anything that you're like, no, they don't know this about him, or they don't realize this about how he was or how funny he was? I mean, is there anything like that?
I will say this: there's not a day that doesn't go by that I don't think about him.
Yeah.
Or I go, yes, you got. Like, I'll be by myself.
Dude, classic lines, dude. That 818 shit.
He's a comedic genius, a savant. He was one of the most unique voices I've ever met.
Right.
Like, the guy who pretty much developed his own style. You can't compare him to anyone.
Yeah.
Like, he's different. Dude. I just watched his special 2 days ago, live in the main room, and I'm watching it, and I go, this is fucking brilliant. This is a brilliant concept.
I know.
And
it's a fucking shame, dude.
But no, Brody, he was extremely thoughtful. He was so well liked by everybody. He knew everyone's name, from the dishwasher to Ed Helms. Like, he knows everybody. He would take the time.
And dude, people know Brody.
Yeah.
Like, there's stars. When he passed away, man, there were stars that came out that, like, you would never thought, like, that guy.
Well, the Chicago Cubs right here, they honored him.
That's right.
And I mean, he knew Eddie Vedder. He knew. I went to his memorial at the Comedy Store.
Isn't that crazy to know Eddie Vedder? He knew Eddie Vedder.
Yeah, and I went to the Comedy Store memorial, and everybody, all walks of life, was there because he touched so many people, and everyone has a Brody story. Everybody, some weird interaction. One of the best moments of my life is I got to do a tour of Texas with him, Sam Tripoli, and Jim Florentine. So
Jesus, dude,
it was amazing. This was like 3 years ago, and
that's crazy. That's a great tour, man.
Yeah, we did San Antonio, San Marcos, Austin, Houston, somewhere else, but. We rented Airbnbs. We had one car, so we were around together for like 5 days nonstop. And it was a fucking blast. And you could tell Brody really enjoyed it because there's another catchphrase: enjoy it, because he was around like-minded dudes, and because he played baseball, so he even said he goes,
he's a pitcher, right?
Yeah, he's like, he goes, I feel like I'm on a team again.
Yeah.
He goes, this is like baseball.
Yeah, right.
But yeah,
that's a good Brody impersonation, dude.
But every single night he was listening to Alex Jones in his room.
Really?
Yeah, he was.
As a fan, or just like where he's just like this guy like
I think he was a fan,
dude. Well, until Alex Jones the last couple of years, he had a lot of people would listen to Alex Jones,
Yeah.
dude. It just got a little weird once Trump got in there and stuff, and then Alex changed a little bit, but that's good, man.
Brody was getting tired of woke Hollywood too. He was really. He's very conservative, and he saw all the bullshit.
Brody was conservative.
Oh
huh?
yeah.
No shit.
A lot of people don't know that. Yeah, he's very conservative, and
Yeah.
he got tired of seeing all the.
Well, dude, it's not good for comedy.
No,
it's
killing
not
it.
good. I get it. Like, yes, of course, raping the whole Me Too. Yes, that's not good. Of course, that's not good. That's not good human shit.
Yeah.
But being politically correct in this word, fucking,
Hey, there's me. I'm on the wall.
There you go, man. You're on the fucking
Hey,
sign.
look at me.
Yep. Yeah. As we're passing the fucking sign. Yeah, that's you, dude.
That's pretty cool.
No shit, dude. But it's not good for comedy, dude. So I don't know where they're not looking far enough down the timeline that this is hurting, and it's hurting society, dude. You don't want people, but you know what, man? Like, I think it's getting pushed back on. Do you feel like it's starting to get pushed back on? That it's like, hey, like people are, like, even average folks are getting sick of the word police and stuff like that, and get the fuck back.
Yeah, there's definitely a backlash. It's still going on. But I feel there's enough people tired of this, and they're fighting back.
I hope so.
And I'm one of them. I'm tired of it.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I've lost a lot of friends, a lot of relationships. Well, I guess they weren't friends, but
right.
a lot of relationships just because I'm considered quote unquote toxic in the business now.
That's so stupid, dude.
I'm toxic.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm not playing ball. And, and the Hollywood people, they want to keep me in line, and I'm like, and they look at me as an outsider. I'm like, no, dog, I'm a comic. I don't care. So it doesn't serve me well, but I'm hoping in the long term it does.
Chad, so you're going to be at Zany's all week. What is this? It's fucking July 20. What's today's date?
July, was it the 15th?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the next what? It's
till Sunday.
Till Sunday. Okay. And so Zanies.com for tickets. And Chad, what do you got? You got your podcast. You got your website. What is that?
Yeah, it's just Chad Zumock, Zumock. Across the board, Instagram, social media, website, and I got a podcast. Sit down, Zumock, subscribe. It's free.
Dude, I just listened to the Joe Howard episode today.
Oh shit!
And when he bombed the night before and he got drunk and stuff, that was very funny, man.
I forgot about that.
And you were fucking with him a little bit, and you had Kevin Brennan call up, and you had fucking Eddie Ift call up. I thought that was very funny, man. That was a good episode, and also it's good. It was like a good like look into a comedian's brain the next day or like after they fucking bomb and they don't like it and it doesn't feel good.
Yeah, Joe. I haven't talked to Joe in a long time, but yeah, I remember he was real upset by that.
Yeah. So, guys, thanks for listening. Bustin' Balls podcast on Instagram. Eric Pennell Comedy on Instagram.
Did we bust any balls?
We busted balls, dude.
All right.
Guys, thanks for listening.